For more on the fallout from the Paris attacks and what it means for security in this country, we're joined by Michael Morell in Washington, the former #2 at the CIA and now CBS News senior security contributor, and John Miller, our former correspondent, who is the Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence and Counterterrorism at the New York City Police Department. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Mike, let me start with you. As Jeff Pegues mentioned, this raises a lot of questions about vulnerabilities here. What do we know about these attacks so far?
So I think the place to start here is the context. And Elizabeth mentioned this was the largest terrorist attack in Western Europe since the Madrid bombings. It's the second largest attack in the West since 9/11. President Hollande said that this was ISIS, and he also said that ISIS directed this. If that's true, this would be the first ISIS-directed attack in the West. So this is a huge deal.
You know, John, we mentioned that New York, you're going to see more and more police officers. If you're in any major city, you're going to see more police officers today. Are there any specific threats at this point?
No.
So the increased presence is basically for?
This is a counterterrorism overlay. This is a plan that we literally keep on the shelf, and it's adjusted for the individual situation. So after the Charlie Hebdo attacks, we guarded certain French government installations and journalism locations, especially places that had printed some of the same material. In this attack, we immediately looked at it. We took out the Charlie Hebdo package, took the French government locations, but we also added in places that looked like the targets. So crowded places, Times Square, Rockefeller Center, Penn Station, Grand Central, places with people and tourists gathered on a Friday night.
Mike, we're looking here at a series of synchronized attacks that occurred across the city, at a soccer stadium, at restaurants, at a theater. What does it tell us about the planning and the intelligence of this, and the fact that French authorities didn't pick up any of it?
So this is very worrying, right? What really strikes me about this attack is the operational security. You know, you're talking about multiple operatives, you're talking about bombs, you're talking about simultaneous attacks, you're talking about keeping that under the radar from French intelligence and French security. That is a very difficult thing to do. It is very sophisticated operational security. That's what suggests to me that this was directed rather than simply a group of self-radicalized individuals who came together. And in terms of the potential for such an attack here, I'm deeply concerned about that. The FBI over the last year has arrested a number of individuals who are plotting attacks here, and there's over 100 ongoing FBI investigations into jihadists here. So I believe that it will eventually happen here, and we're going to have to stay focused on this in a way that we haven't been yet, I believe.
I mean, those are really frightening words to hear. And you look at the places, the 6 locations, knowing they're a concert hall, a Cambodian restaurant, a bar, a sports stadium included in that list. How do these events get viewed on the global stage, knowing that they happened on a bustling Friday night and not those specific locations anyone would have thought, like a Cambodian restaurant?
So, Vanita, you've put your thumb right on it, which is we looked at the target picture last night. We did our target selection in terms of where we would put additional high-profile resources. But if the attack was on the President's Palace and the Eiffel Tower and a bunch of other places, you know, that makes sense in terms of predictability for security. When you have a bunch of random places that you could find in any big city, that's a real challenge about how to spread resources. And I want to underline what Mike Morell said. In the course of April, we arrested 2 people for planning a pressure cooker bomb attack in New York City, targeting police in the name of ISIL and other groups. In June, between June 2nd and June 29th, we arrested 9 people through the Joint Terrorism Task Force network of the FBI and a number of people in New York City for a plot to attack the 4th of July fireworks with a pressure cooker bomb in the name of ISIL, to behead a target in New York City in the name of ISIL. So these are the attacks that you do have the intelligence on, that you are able to stop, that don't make the headlines. But when you look at what happened last night, here's a group of people that flew under the radar and probably did so using these communications apps that can't be seen by law enforcement, can't be opened by court order, that are this new design that are becoming increasingly popular.
All right. John Miller, Michael Morell, thank you both for being with us this morning.